Shalom, family. It's good to see everybody here. We're going to talk about old crickety Joe Biden and what he recently said. You know, some people hate us so much, they would give credit, literally give credit to dogs for building the nation over us. That's how deep their hatred runs. And Joe Biden is definitely one of those people. I think it would just kill him if he had to admit our people were the builders of this country, which we absolutely 100% were. And it's just amazing how many of them will come in your face talking about some Irish and these people, and you're not the only one. Well, that's amazing. How we are never the only ones that did anything. But when you look at those pictures, because, photography did exist during chattel slavery. And it is absolutely amazing how when you look at the pictures, you don't see no other group out there. You only see one group of people out there working. You don't see no one else. Oh, immigrants did. Well, when we look at those photographs, how come we don't see y'all all up in the plantations out here working? the railroads out here working in all kinds of industries, convict leasing program, primarily black men. Black men. We don't see Mexican men, white men, Irish men. We don't see none of that. And it's almost like they want you to put on these fake blinders and act like we see a history that never existed. The only ones you see in photograph are our people. You know why? Because they were the only ones out there doing that backbreaking work in that era. And it's amazing how you got all these deniers of what it was like back then, or they deny that all of the work came from there. You know, all of the money came from slavery. But let me show y'all something. Let me see if I can share my screen. Hold on one second. I'm gonna stop sharing and I'm going to start sharing this. You know, it's amazing how we are not responsible for nothing. But, ladies and gentlemen, back then, they called it the slave economy. That means all of the money circulating through the economy came directly as a result of slavery. They didn't call it the white man's economy. They didn't call it the Irish economy. They didn't call it the Mexican economy. They called it the slave economy. And who were the slaves? Who were the slaves? Okay. We get so sick and tired of these people trying to act like everything they have did not come from slavery when it indeed did. You can pull up a multitude of articles and things that were written about the slave economy, and that was exactly what they called it back then. Okay? It was not called anything else. It's amazing the Irish were slaves. Well, where's the Irish economy? Because no economy over here in America was ever called the Irish economy. Not at no point in time in history. So when Joe Biden now is trying to say undocumented immigrants are the ones that built the economy, the man is 100% lying. And he knows he's lying. But if he think he can get away with saying it, that's what he's going to do. So let's get into it. So Biden got torched. A lot of people jumped on him immediately for claiming undocumented immigrants built this country. But prior to that, he made a comment that the middle class built this country. If it was not for chattel slavery in America, you would never have had a middle class. That is the truth. So let's get into it. Mm-mm-mm. So Biden is receiving a lot of heavy criticism online for claiming in a recent interview that undocumented immigrants built this country. The statement came as he apologized for using the term illegal to describe Jose Ibarra, you know, the Venezuelan that was here illegally that killed Lake and Riley. Yeah. So the president drew backlash on social media for crediting illegal immigrants for having built America, something he previously credited American middle class. So, mm, mm, mm. Any guess to as who he will say built America the next time he speaks to an African American audience? Like I said, this man, he would give credit to donkeys before he gives credit to us or our forefathers. He really would. Many of them are like that. So he said this during a sit-down interview with Jonathan Capehart, where they covered a wide variety of topics, and this is one of the things that he came out and said during that interview. I mean, it is just amazing. But Joe Biden, no matter how much he tries to avoid something, he knows what the history is. They all know what the history it is, what the history is. They know who was doing all that backbreaking work. And, their denial to me, it just implies their racism. That's all. They're just opening the door so we can all see it at this point in time because it's funny how we all have studied the history and we didn't hear about this large group of people coming across the border and doing all the work. Then it wouldn't been no need to have the slaves in the first place then if you had all these people coming. It really was not that many of them in this country during the time of chattel slavery. They weren't in this country like you see them today. Mhm. Yeah, David Joseph, I agree with you right there. Another reason not to vote in November, especially for Sleepy Joe. You got that right. You got that right. This man don't want nothing to do with, giving the black community a crime bill, qualified immunity, or even reparations. If you notice, every time they come out to speak, they will speak anything except for that. They will avoid those topics at all costs. And look, he just gave the state of the art, not state of the union, sorry about that, speech, and he didn't mention us at all. But they were saying, "Oh, he was on fire. He did a great speech." He didn't mention the community where he wants the votes from. And besides, I don't know why y'all need votes so badly from us. Aren't we now y'all starting to say 14% of the population? You gave us 1%. Oh wow. You're now saying so I don't see how 14% should be able to make or break you. That number is low. At least that's what y'all try to play up to us. So if our people weren't out there voting, how are you going to miss 14% of the population? You wouldn't miss those votes since the undocumented immigrants did so much in this country. Maybe they should be the ones voting for you. I'm just saying. Maybe they should be the one voting for you. Yeah, yeah, they are. Mm-mm-mm. And y'all saw the video I put up about that Leonel, Moreno. His butt is on the run. Do you know there's another story? Thank you, Pensy Lola. Ya bless. Just showing. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat. In fact, let me thank everybody. Man Scott, thank you for becoming a new channel member. Michael Brickley, thank you for becoming a new channel member, and Janice Davis, thank you for becoming a new channel member. Thank you. Mhm. Yeah, well, either that, Keeson, or he'll be giving them all amnesty, you know? Y'all remember, isn't that what Ronald Reagan did? Ronald Reagan was the one that did that. That's why when you say, Democrats will do this, Republicans won't, that's not true. It was Ronald Reagan that gave the Cubans amnesty. Some of y'all might remember. All right. So, really, both of them you can't trust when it comes down to these illegals at all. you know? And a lot of people were angry at Reagan for doing that at that particular time when he gave all that amnesty. And, this one right here, he could do the same thing. Give them amnesty, and yeah, they can now vote. Yeah, well, yeah, well, you know what? They're not big on telling the truth. And plus these illegals, the ones they got here now that they brought in here mainly from Venezuela, phew, man, some of the biggest lawbreakers, they brought them right in this country. And don't think Moreno is the only one. There are many like him. Remember, they let a lot of those gangs from Venezuela. They are now in the United States. And the weather is now heating up. You got a federal judge that said they can have guns if they want them. And look at everything that's happening. Now they are stepping up on squatting in homes. Man, I tell you what, America better buckle their seatbelt because it's going to be a bumpy behind summer. Wait until it gets hot out in these here streets, and those people will start turning up in this country. David Joseph, thank you so much for the super chat. Biden won't even give out stimulus checks, but got all this money for everyone else, especially these migrants. They are helping migrants out who can't even vote. It makes no sense. No, it doesn't make any sense. No, I mean, and thank you for the super chat again. No, it don't make any sense. And they're going to continue down this path, y'all. This is not going to change. As the election season comes, the only thing you might see Biden do is slow down things on the border. He might slow it down, and then if he wins, he's going to open the floodgates up again. He might slow it down because he is fully aware that a lot of people are upset about this. He knows they are. So I wouldn't be surprised if, sometime in the summer or part of fall, early part of fall, all of a sudden things will be slowing down. But it means nothing. It's just another Jedi trick until he think he can win the election and get back in there. Ray Rock Drummer, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, Sister Lisa. Thank you. Yeah, but you still got diehards, y'all. No matter what Joe Biden does, they are going to vote for him. And I've seen that in a couple of comment sections. Yeah, well, it is no other alternative. I'm voting Biden. I've seen some people write that. I've seen people write that. Same thing with Trump. No matter what Trump does or says, oh, Trump 2024. You got a lot of our people out here that, these men can't do no wrong in their eyes. They can't do no wrong. Mhm. Yeah, wrestling reads, you said you couldn't pay me to vote for either one of them. Yeah, a lot of people feel that way. In fact, I'm starting to see that in a big way. Before I would see, people for Trump, and I still do, and people for Biden. But I'm telling you, the people that are saying they are going to sit this one out, I'm seeing that in a much higher number now. Absolutely. Mhm. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either. But we shall see what happens, y'all. Joe Biden is just going to be who he is. You know, we saw how openly racist he was back during his time when he was in the Senate. This man didn't change. He just knows how to be covert with it. That's all. He's still the same person. Don't nobody change that damn much. That is a joke for anyone to believe that. He didn't change that much. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. Again, be on the lookout for my videos. If you haven't had a chance to look at the videos that I put out, please take an opportunity to watch those videos. And I will be back with another live on a different topic. Shalom, family.